Paul. Thank you very much, Joel. There you go. I mean, I expect it to be a very big debate because the Premier League has had so many big strikers over the years. The Ruud van Nistelrooys of this world, the Dennis Bergkamps of this world, the Jermaine Defoes of this world. Some of the fans will say even David Bellion was one of the great players to play in the Premier League. So we are joined by two basketballers on set today. We have Flavia Oketcho, of course, and Joseph Ikong as well. Welcome to the show, guys. The NBL playoffs are here. The quarterfinals are on. But before we jump into that, there's a very big poll we are running on our social media this evening, and I was thinking I will start off with you. Let me start with Flavia because it's possible Ikong has some answers.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Your best two strikers to ever play in the English Premier League.
English Premier League. Well, does Beckham count?
Yeah, I mean, he counts. Not really a striker, but he counts.
No. As long as you watch Bend It Like Beckham, he has to count. Yes. And I'll go with Ronaldo as well.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, of course.
Great pick. You've given Ikong some ideas. Ikong, your top two players, strikers to ever play in the Premier League?
Good evening. I would definitely go for Thierry Henry. I like strikers that are able to control the ball, pass the ball. So I'll go for Babatov.
Oh, okay.
And Cristiano Ronaldo is part of the big three.
There you go.
But there's something you may not know. Ikong used to play football.
Really?
He
doesn't look a bit of a football at all.
Let him tell his own
He
story
looks
from
a
a
speck
career.
of talent in football.
He used to play football,
Oh, really?
seriously.
Yeah, but I know that, Ikong.
I played some football when I was a little young. Featured under 12 friends of football for this country.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I started growing like a weed.
Yeah.
So, and the way the standard was the height.
Yeah.
So the shorter people got more advantage to play, and the taller ones were considered older. So
Yeah,
we
that's
had
why
to.
Kabura is.
Yeah, that is
Why
why
didn't you be a goalkeeper or something? I mean,
it's about height. That's why Mr. Andrew Mwangusha and Robert Madoya are footballers.
Wow.
You saying goalkeeping? Goalkeeping is a serious position on the pitch, and you need to be talented to actually be a goalkeeper. It's not one of those things of dodge and score.
Yeah.
If you score, you go in the goal, or the guy who doesn't play well goes in the goal. I mean, Uganda is gifted with Onyango, Mr. Safe Hands, so that is a serious position.
From the east.
Wow.
Sports people would be like that. As Japa dollars will supersede everything.
Nice.
Well, Flavia, we are trying to keep the press box nationwide to make sure everyone is
I
involved.
know.
But guys, welcome. Let me start off with you, Ikong. The playoffs are finally here. I was having a discussion with some basketball fans yesterday, and they were saying this is the time they wait for. I mean, the regular season is fantastic. We love beautiful basketball, but when the playoffs are on, the attitude completely changes. From a player's perspective, does that mean anything different? Is it extra pressure? Is it more excitement for you?
It is definitely business. It's not a time to play around. You have 3 games to play. The first one to win 2 games, you go home and the season ends. For example, today KIU is playing Warriors. If they lose, their season will have ended in 2 days, 3 days. So playoffs is a time to be serious, and also playoffs is a time for basketball. Is a party. It's a party. So we're heading into the last quarter of the year.
Yeah.
So it's party after party.
So people have to party, but also the players. It is a serious period for us to get serious and fulfill the goals we put up for the year.
Flavia, is there a time that when you're playing the regular season, sometimes you don't have the best of campaigns, or the team doesn't probably have the best results? Does as a team feel this is a whole new start if you didn't show up in the regular season, but you are probably, I should say, lucky to make it this far? It's a whole new ball game for you guys?
Well, with us, luck has nothing to do with it. We actually work hard, and we have to go all the way, because we are defending champions.
Yeah.
So there's no way about it. We have to win, and that's that. But yes, regular season, however much you'd love to win all the games most of the time, we tend to use it as a way to see which team is going to give us the hardest of times, and to position ourselves in the best position possible, because obviously if you're number 1, you get to play number 8 and so on. So you're most likely to reach the finals than having a final in the middle of the quarterfinals with the harder teams. So yeah, the regular season you might or might not have good games, but you have to play well enough to position yourself in the perfect spot.
But it must be good times at Dolphins. I mean, you won it last season. Before you won it last season, there was this whole either KCCA Leopards or Lady Cannons for quite a while. There must be a whole new inbuilt confidence at the club, knowing that now we can be 3 big basketball clubs in the country, but also we are the new, queens on the block. That must be giving you a different atmosphere in camp.
Yes, definitely. I mean, it's about the team name and everything, but it's also about the players. The instant you spread out the players in different teams, then you have yourselves a competition. So if I was 3 years ago, I was in KCCA, now I'm in JKL.
Yeah.
So everything is spread out. So was Mohai, and Rita was in UCU. So you find if we take out the players from here and there and put it, then you're like, oh wow, we have ourselves a league than having only 2 teams year in, year out,
Yeah.
By the way, Andrew, somehow Flash has managed to strategically position herself in the best team during an era for the last 15 or so years.
20.
20, from Ladybugs to UCU Lady Cannons to KCCA and now to JKL.
Actually, I think you're missing the point. I am actually the good luck charm.
Oh,
I don't position
I was coming
myself.
to that, but
Yes.
you took that out of
where
my
she
mouth.
goes, they win.
where I go, because if I go in a team and last season you were 3rd, and then we make it to the finals and then make it to become the champions, then obviously it has got to do something with the fight.
Yeah.
Now, Flash, you're the most decorated player, male or female, by the way, in the Ugandan basketball league. When you're going into the playoffs like now, do you feel any kind of pressure, or do you feel like this is my zone? This is when my experience comes to play. I may not necessarily be among the starting 5 for the coach, but when I come on, I'm going to give my very best. Is that how you feel, and how do you then also mentor? The younger players, they're good, but they need some guidance.
Yeah. Actually, for me, if you see during regular season, I don't play almost all the games. I'll probably play when we're playing against UCU, KCCA, A1, or once in a while this and that, because it's not that I feel the other teams are weaker, but because sometimes when you're played for as long as I have, you prefer to keep your body in shape for the most, tough games. And you'll find that there are some teams out there, if they have learners, it's very easy to get injured.
Yeah.
So I would not want to come and tell someone I was injured playing a team we can beat 150 points. There's really no point. But when it gets to playoffs, now, one thing that people don't actually understand sometimes that the coach and everyone explained to me, if you notice for me, most of the times I will not start, but I'll enter 5 minutes into the first quarter and I will not get out until the game ends. The reason the coach tells me is I build momentum in the game. So they will leave, they will see how it's going, and they're like, boom, going, bring us in. And we have so many talented players these days. Reason being, it's not like before. Us, we didn't have the opportunities that they have now. 3-on-3s all over the place. They're traveling everywhere. They have under 16, under 18, under what? Us, we had Katumwa Cup. Like, I mean, seriously, in high school.
Eb Lincoln.
I know, Ebling, things like that. And we did not have that much exposure. And you find that for me, what keeps me going is I'm a very competitive person. I'm like, oh, okay, fine. So I've been at this game for 20 years. What now should I do? Every day for me is weird. I keep learning still. And I keep saying, okay, this is now what I'm going to practice, and this is what I'm going to play with. Oh, I've noticed, am I slow? No. If you see me on court, I'm faster than half the people who are there.
But
so it's extra work for me, but because I'm so competitive, I have to do it.
I want us to talk about the playoffs themselves very shortly. Ikong, you're probably feeling left out. We shall come back to you very shortly. I just feel she has a more colorful top than you this evening. So I want to ask her one more question, then I can come to the men's side. I mean, the basketball fans refer to you as the Serena Williams of Ugandan basketball, mainly because of
Serena.
mainly because of the time you've spent at the top. And I think you have bigger lessons to teach to the younger girls out there who need to come into the sport and be consistent at the top for this long. The bigger question for me, though, is during this time, how do you rate the evolution of Ugandan basketball, specifically for the ladies? Where have we come from and where are we now? Do you like where we are? Should we be developing faster? Are we bringing more young kids at the pace we should be? What do you make of women's basketball in the last, 10, 20, 15 years?
I think women basketball has greatly improved to the point that fans now will actually come to watch a women's game. They're not coming just because they need to watch a men's game. They're like, who is playing? Oh, JKL is playing UCU. We're there. Because it's actually competitive. It's competition. It's, it's much better than it used to be. In terms of bringing out young talent, there's so much going around that it is amazing that we get to see from a young age, under 16 and all this. And then when they reach and pass the university, this is when they tell you, now it's up to you.
Yeah.
Coaches cannot teach you everything. Now it's me. Can you... you have to motivate yourself. You have to be your own inspiration. You have to be your own someone to push you. The coach will only give you 30%. The rest is you.
Yeah.
If you feel I don't have this, now that's where I feel a lot of people, it's lacking because of so many opportunities now. It's not like before. I mean, for me in Ladybugs, I trained for 1 whole year without even being given a chance for a jersey. And I was not even bad.
Yeah.
But now, as long as you are tall, and you can throw the ball somewhere. You even have a jersey with your name at the back.
Yeah.
You understand?
Things have changed, eh?
Yes, we had to earn it.
Yeah.
Like you had to earn that position. So that's why the hard work sticks with me, because it's not like bullied, but I was not given anything like her. The first time I told everyone I stepped on court, I was chest off it.
Yeah.
I was so skinny and they told me this is not a modeling place. Please leave. In front of the entire place.
Yeah.
And I had to come back the next day and with all the shame and everything. But it's not like that anymore. Okay. Now you train as you have a jersey waiting for you. You have sneakers
Selfies
somewhere. You have so it's different. But then I feel there's still some little in there. Some people who are willing to work and
improve
get there.
it. I'll come to you, Asha, very shortly. Let me ask Ikong. I mean, we talk experience. You have experience as well. You've played here for a while, and I want to start off with your team, Power. But let's talk about the fact that City Oilers are going for their 7th ring. If they win it this season, how powerful is Power to make sure they can compete against someone going for their 7th?
Is Power powerful?
Yeah. Is there any power in Power?
First of all, there is a lot of speculation for you to come and say that they're going for their 7th championship. It is one of the things that we need to look at objectively. I know they have a great team at City Oil. They have great coaches. The management structure is good. But if you look, teams have improved. Teams have stepped up. We all did know that UCU will lead the table this time round. Yesterday they played against Ndeje. The game went to overtime, and Ndeje finished 7th. You understand? So teams are playing better basketball. Teams are becoming aware of their environment. Teams want to compete. She's been talking about the growth of the game. Bale Fayed was last year in IHOOP's academy, being taught by Komakech and Jimmy how to play the game of basketball. But here is the man trying to dominate games. He has dominated games. Yeah. So everyone is aware of what is around his surrounding, and teams are prepared. Teams are prepared. I will not talk for Power only, but the Warriors are playing good basketball. They're playing good basketball. If you look at the table standings before we went to the playoffs, they had the same points with City Oil, and that is something to look at. JKL is a new team in there. It's goes up to 4th position. So teams are aware of the intentions of City Oil, and no one is sleeping. Yeah. People are putting in work, and the same work is also happening at Power.
Yeah, but from a similar point though, you've also had to put in extra at a personal level to stay in the game, even with all these youngsters who are coming through. You've done pretty much what she's done. Stay in the game, keep discipline, train hard, teach the young kids that if you're going to stay at the top for long, there must be some level of discipline you've had to bring into your game as well, which we never tell these youngsters. These guys just want to be like you, Ikong, but they don't know what you put in.
Jimmy and Komakech have done a tremendous job with the High Hoops Academy, and they invite in people to come and coach, and give life skills and you know, experiences to the youngsters. And I think we are doing a great job in there. The only thing that since the game is growing at a fast rate, we need a home. Like seriously, we need a home.
Okay.
Rwanda has a great arena.
They have a fantastic home.
Fantastic arena, and we are staying behind.
Yeah.
We are staying behind, and as a country, we need a home, because if you look back, Kabura and my friend, we are discussing, my friend Asha, we are discussing NBL only, but if you went and saw the Division 2 games, they're very, very interesting. UPDF is in there, is fighting to come back. Rhinos, which is a household name, got knocked out.
Yeah.
There's a new team called Duhaga something. They're playing tremendous basketball. So with the number of teams that are playing the game in Uganda, ladies and men, and then the juniors, the game has grown, and I think time has come that Lugogo will not be enough to accommodate all of us.
I love this, because that means we have more
Yes.
topics to discuss on the show today. We shall talk some facilities, talk the national team very shortly. But Asha wants to focus on the playoffs for now.
Well, I watched the first game between KIU and Warriors, and I must say I was a little bit disappointed with the quality of the basketball that was on display. I so much because these are big teams. They had a great season, and I really thought that they'll come out, and express themselves. But they all felt like they were, holding back something. Yes, they were fighting, but for a game, of that magnitude to what was the final score? 47-39. I mean. In 4 quarters, it was not a good sight, to be honest, on Friday. But I think today we can see, following on live stats and online, that both teams have come out to play, and they know for sure this is do or die. If KIU lose this game, like Ikong said, they're out of the game, and they will not be able to go again and maybe try and get their first ever national title. So then you have UCU, I think... again, they came into the quarterfinals as one of the favorites to proceed to the semifinals. I think Nick Natuereza has done a fantastic job, and they're one of the teams to watch out, really.
Yeah. Ikong, let's talk power. Let's talk some power now. You guys have come this far. Fantastic job. You have a chance of making it, of course, the next round. What do you like about this power team? What do you like about your team at the moment? How confident are you guys moving forward? What is making you guys a little more special?
The thing is, Power is a big club in Ugandan basketball.
Yeah.
It is a big brand, and for anyone to come out there and treat us with disregard, this team cannot play basketball.
It's either disrespectful.
It is very disrespectful.
It's annoying you and
There has been a lot of words going in these corridors, and they are setting a very bad precedent. They're setting a very bad precedent for the game. Jokel is a good team, very good team. 3 years in the first division. Now they are in the first 4. They have good players in Brian Namake. He's a Kenya national team player. They have Ivan Romanyika, national team. They have Moramba, national team. But for us as Power, we said these are the playoffs. Let's go out there. Let's play the best we can play. Let us improve our defense. Let's give it our all, and let's make sure we play in the semifinals.
Yeah.
So for us, it's defense, hard work, and the desire to win. We want to win. Yeah, that is us. That is us.
I'll come to you now, Flash. People call you Flash.
Yeah.
I hope the viewers know Flavia Oketcho is Flash.
Flash. Lights.
We've been talking about your side, and Jamila Nanskombi can't fail to come up in conversations like this, even when I want us to talk about the current games moving forward. She was such a big player. Female basketballer of the year for USPA just last year.
Yes.
She's no longer in the side. That must be a huge loss.
Yes, definitely. I mean, if we started the season actually with 14 players, and now we're exactly 10, I believe, 11, 10. And because obviously we also had Jane Asinde, who midway went to the States as well. But this is what's for me when I think bigger picture. I think Uganda. This is good for Uganda. at the end of the day, it's not only about JKL Dolphins. If we have a chance to send these kids out there to learn from the source of basketball, to get coached and everything, in 2 years she'll come and play for Uganda. So we cannot hold anybody back.
Yeah.
We let everyone go and wish them the best and pray for them and everything. But now that leaves us with more work. Yes, we know we have work to put in, because we lost 2 very vital points that we had, plus a third as well, our Congolese player. So with that in mind, we train that way. Now we know we don't have someone who was probably putting in half our scores in there. So what do?
Yeah.
We change tactics, we change plays, because at the end of the day, basketball is a team sport. You have to find a way to make the team you have work. You cannot concentrate on one individual, because you just, you can't do that.
Yeah.
And that's what we've tried to do, and that's what we're hoping to do, and that's where we're headed.
The beauty is it also gives someone else a chance to come into the side, whether younger or something. Asha,
Today I saw on your Facebook, you shared a memory from 2015, the FIBA Women's Afrobasket in Cameroon. And I sort of look back and look, Uganda missed 2 editions since then, you know, because of, some issues, inexperience here and there on from the players' side, I must say. What do you think Uganda should do to get back to the women's Afrobasket?
I think we are on the right track, because if you look in 2014 when we qualified, if you look at the team that we had, funnily enough, someone said we won that, and our shooting guards were net ballers who could not even dribble the ball. I don't know.
Sima.
Yeah, and then this time we had a proper all-star team, and still we had a proper all-star team, but failed to qualify. That goes to show you sometimes, there's a saying I always put in there and tell people a good team is better than 5 great players. Because you might all be great, but if we can't gel together, then we're not getting anywhere.
Yeah, but you had 8 days. You had only 8 days.
Yeah, but this is what I'm trying to say. It's not enough to gel as a team. What happened before, when we qualified, we camped to a hotel Africana for 2 weeks. Prior to that, we were training as a unit twice a day. Then we had residential for 2 weeks. That means every day we trained, played, talked, ate basketball for those 2 weeks as a unit together. And we managed to. This time, we didn't even train prior. We just had 8 days. Yeah. There you go.
And you can't
Some
do
are
that,
coming in from out. we had an international player come in. We had no clue how she plays. So it's not easy.
Yeah.
I think the way to get it is we need that organization. We have a management that is amazing. Haji Mohammed Santura and his team, they do such a fantastic job, but their hands are always tied because there are no funds. So if we have our funds back, I'm very sure that we'll get there. We have a good team. We just don't have the time.
There you go. What we're going to do on the show tonight, we are going to open up our phone lines and take 4 callers. If you have a comment about the basketball playoffs, the quarterfinal stage where we are at the moment, you can give us a call and ask these two any question or have your quick comment. Is that the same feeling at Power, that it's a team, there's no superstar player in there, we play together? And I'm saying this not to discredit Power really, but we hear about this all the time. When it comes down to sides, there's always that 1 or 2 players who feels they're the superstar, who walks out of the dressing room last.
We call them Rambo.
Call him Rambo. Are you the Rambo at Power?
Rambo.
Very, very, very interesting question. The need for leadership in sports, especially on the floor, is very, very important. We have all watched NBA, we have watched other leagues, we have been at Afro basketball. There is always a need for someone or a group of people to lead the rest, to set a precedent. Steve did it very well at Falcons all those years. He was doing it at the city earlier. He has definitely been doing it at the national team.
And you were assistant to him.
Yeah, and you'll even be surprised that at Power it is not me who is the Rambo. There are different people.
I will really be surprised.
But we at Power, we try to, we know that the team is as strong as its weakest link. Because, this season I started with injury, then another injury, then I got attacked by thugs and everything. And if I'm not in the game, does that mean that the team won't play?
Yeah.
So that means that everyone on the team needs to step up, everyone needs to play.
Yeah.
And we saw it. You were asking about Amin Mokosa. He's a high school kid. He played a wonderful game, scored 25 points, 23 points. Wasn't man of the match, but it is something that for a team, we play together, we understand each other. If anyone is the Rambo, should be Isaac Afidra. He's the oldest out there.
Take a call, then I can come back to that. We have some people online. Give us a call if you have any question for Flash or Ikong as well. Everything to do with Ugandan basketball. Good evening. Good evening. Hello and welcome to Press Box. Okay, I think we have a connectivity problem in there. You can call us again. It's 0778 722 784 and give us your side of the story. You know what we're going to do on the show today? Something no sportsman likes doing or sportswoman. I'm going to go through all the different pairings at the quarterfinal stage in the playoffs. And you guys will be forced to tell me who you think makes it to the next round.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to like this. I think if you have players or friends in the other teams are not going to be happy with you making such bold and serious predictions on the press box. But Asha, you had a few questions for both of them before we can go into the next segment.
Yes, for Ikong, look, like you said, Power is a household name in Ugandan basketball. Everyone knows and everyone expects so much. You have fans that believe in you, that come every day to the stadium believing that this is the year. This is the time we're going to get back, our lost glory, I should say. Do you think that Power can win the title this year, and why?
I believe that Power could easily win this title.
Easily?
This year. Could easily win this title this year. And for different reasons. We have always had mismatches on the floor when we are playing, and this is now technical. And in Cyrus Chiviri, we have covered very many of those. The players are more aware of what is needed. The sponsors need results. Our family members and friends and fans want us to win. so it's a time to step up and be serious. And the players are serious. I've been there at the practice sessions. Secondly, the sponsors have given us whatever we need. Sometimes when they give you all you need, then it is the ball is in your court and you have to, But sports is sports, You can give it your best, you can give it your fight, and you don't win. But all you have to do is always give your best and wait for the outcomes.
Yeah, we can see from the way you dismantled JKL on Saturday in game one. Anyway, Flash, look, JKL is outrightly the best women's basketball team in Uganda at the moment. If anything, I must say that your focus is on another level right now. You're looking at playing the Zone 5 qualifiers in Dar es Salaam, trying to make it to your first ever FIBA Africa Women's Champions Cup. So this really should be training for you guys. Are you ready? Do you have it? How do you do away with complacency? Because yes, we know you're going to win, but are you ready if you find yourself 15 points down in the last quarter?
Can I take a phone call before you come in?
Yeah, sure.
Then you can, because I want most of the viewers out there to ask you guys as many questions as you can. Ikong is being very political with most of his answers. Do we have someone online? Good evening. Hello? Yes, good evening. Can you hear us?
Hello?
Yes, good evening, my friend. Welcome to the press box.
Hey, I'm calling from Moroto.
Yes, tell me.
Hey, actually, about that game, they wanted that game to be extended countrywide so that the other schools also can copy up. Because I've seen it from this way, that game is dying already.
Okay.
It needs to extend it. Should be a policy, other schools.
Fantastic.
So that they will bring up those people over. over that issue.
Fantastic, asante. I'm sure Mr. Nasa Serunjoji is watching the show. We hosted him on the press box some time back. Folks in Moroto are saying spread the game to the rest of the country. But Asha was asking you something.
Yes, Asha, I would actually love to tell you this. There is nothing like we are destined to win. Like you can say this year we went through the league unbeaten and then we lost to A1. You know, who had also lost to, I don't know, Angels or
YMCA
YMCA hamsters. So there is nothing like, it doesn't matter whether they say, oh, Flash didn't play that game or this one. It's still JKL has lost the game. So with teams that come up, playoffs is a different ball game. They come to fight. They come to eat you up. Everybody wants to win. So you'll be shocked with the way we started the year was too strong, and now we've losing 3 of top starters. You'll find yourself that, hey, now we have to put in the work, and then the rest have to step up, that we're not given as much time to play. So the question is, are we ready? Because it's a completely different team, completely different setup now, and we are taking the test now and just hoping to pass. But I definitely think my team has what it takes.
All right, guys, here's the thing. We have about 5 minutes to wrap this discussion, but I also want us to talk about stuff, not the playoffs. So I'll come back to the playoffs very shortly to pick your predictions. I want to start off with you, Ikong. We talk about, I'm happy you talk about sponsors, and I think it's fantastic. I think it's the one area Ugandan sport has struggled in terms of getting, corporate companies to come on board. You guys seem to be doing fine as well. But she talked about facilities. Are we getting tired of having this debate now? Or like Mr. Joseph, not Mr. Nasa Serunjoji was saying, this will take time. Government has to step in. The sponsors have. It will take time for us to have these facilities. Are you tired of having this discussion? So many young players, nowhere to play games from.
Is that to me or to?
That was to you, my friend.
To you.
Flash. Definitely, the time is now. The time is now. If the game is growing in management, is what they call successes that fail. In other words, you've been successful. You've been successful. You've been successful, and when you reach a certain extent, you cannot manage the success, and then you fail. So we are saying we need grassroots programs. The grassroots programs are here. Kids are playing basketball in schools. In a number of teams in Division 2
schools
all over. Division 3, we have a league. Everyone wants to play. People are playing in Makerere University. The weather is not good. People are playing all over the place. We need a home. We need an arena. We need a home. Government should sit down, avoid of these public-private partnerships. It is the time. It is the time. We need a home for basketball, a home for the sport. To develop infrastructure, we will look at different ways we could do it. We have these farms, companies that do roads. A basketball court, a tarmac, the size is too small. I mean, if they're doing this road and there is a school in the neighborhood that requires a basketball court, I don't think it would cost them a lot of money.
We sat with a UNRWA spokesperson, actually, Mark Sally, who currently is in Kisoro trekking gorillas. He sent us some pictures, but I understand exactly what you mean.
I think that would be one of the things for UNRWA to give back to community. If the road is passing through Kabong or Moroto, why don't you put up a court for a school or a community? I think that way we will get more courts for kids to play. And there are also very many NGOs have heard of courts for kids. You apply and they build you courts and everything. But we need a big home. We need a big home. We need a big home.
There's the agriculture farm as well that sponsors and partners with A1, and they go around the country with the girl child and basketball. So there's a lot of people coming up. It's just not enough.
You see, what we need here is for government of Uganda to actually build a home for basketball intentionally, and I'm sure that you guys have been following regional news. The playoffs in Kigali finished on the weekend on Saturday, and you're seeing all these 10,000 fans inside an arena, and I must say that I saw some comments online and people were saying we don't even know who is playing.
Yeah.
You know, it's the buzz in town. Like everyone
Yeah.
is rushing to go to the Kigali Arena. Magnificent, 10,000 seater. Then just the other day, the women's Afro basket was played in Senegal, in Dakar, and you have 15,000 people, watching the game of basketball. Some of them don't know the teams that are playing,
Yeah.
but they're interested.
a party.
It's a party, and like they say, party after party.
Yeah.
So we need something like that in Uganda, because these players, they deserve it.
And-
Playing also on concrete is not good for their knees. Over the years,
Yeah.
you might even be forced to retire, at an early age just because of the knees.
Let me take 2 calls here. We have some reactions coming through online. I'm hoping there are questions specifically for you guys. Give us that call. Do we have someone online now? Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening to you.
I'm very good, my brother. Welcome to the press box. What's your name?
What is my name?
You have a
from
comment?
Okono.
Mhm.
Actually, I came in the middle of the discussion, but I liked it so much because I'm a sports lover. There's another way that the government could help us.
Put in volume.
What they call building, instead of building a big arena, they just start from down to the grassroots. Let for example, I come from Okono. The area is called Nama sub-county. Let an area like Nama have a small area gazetted for sports. I'll give you an example. It is a gazetted area for industries. A lot of investors around the place. If Nama can only get a place that it gazettes for sports, not only one kind of sport,
Yeah.
not basketball alone, for example, any kind of sport, and that those companies in the area help you to build that area. For example, let me give you an example of Tatimes. They give it a name. Whenever you make whenever you make up an arrangement of working in a specific area, like a big company, you ought to put a recreation ground down from the grassroots in every sub-county. In this way, we cannot even tell the government to help us so much. Yet
Yeah.
we have companies around us. Do you get my point, brother?
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes. That's the only way we can do it. Let us, for example, when you get Jomai property consultant, they buy a lot of land and then leave nothing like recreation center around. They buy 30 acres of land, sell all the plots, have a lot of houses around, but not even a small plot for recreation.
Okay.
When these companies are given licenses to work, let that clause be around. You don't work if you don't give a recreation ground in any way. Help people get recreation. Help people into sports. Because sports is the other way to go. Do you get my point?
Fantastic. All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, my brother. You had something?
I just want to say something about that. It has to be intentional. If government says we don't have hundreds of millions of dollars to invest in building sports infrastructure, then they can tie it down to policies. Talk to KCCS. Say, for instance, if you're a company that is investing or building something in Kampala, you must build a small sports infrastructure. It can be a basketball court or a volleyball court or a football pitch. So it has to be intentional, and I think this is something that the sports leaders need to push Parliament so that it is actually passed at the highest level.
Can I actually add something on that? While we still have, I have this platform, I think everything that we talk right now always goes on deaf ears, because as a country, I'm sorry, but I feel we are not sports oriented at all. If you see other sports, say basketball, we have the biggest basketball league in East Africa, the most competitive. That's why we have all the foreigners here in our league. There's no Ugandan playing in Kenya. There's no, you understand, we have all of them here. We have the Congolese here, we have the Kenyans here, we have Rwandese here.
Burundians,
Burundians,
Tanzanians,
because our
South
league
Sudanese.
is the most competitive league.
Yeah.
Now, look at this. It's not only about basketball sometimes, but if Rwanda, with the arena they've built, they're now going to have African, the games that are
Basketball
happening in
Africa League,
Rwanda.
yeah.
That is over 45 teams. How many people are those? How many people are going to be staying in hotels around? How much business is that for
investment
the
is huge,
country?
yeah.
The investment is huge. And the reason I tell you that in our country we're not sports oriented is it starts from down, from school. I'm a sports person, and it pains me that my daughter, where she is, they hardly do any sports. They have the best facilities, biggest facilities. They have courts. They don't use them because
Yeah.
everything is now about academics. You leave school, homework. You go to school, work.
Do you want to tell us which
There's
school
no
this
one,
is?
no. There's no one who's doing sports anymore. When I was in primary school, I was a runner, and I was a runner for Uganda as well.
Yeah.
But I had the chance every afternoon would do sports. It's not the case now.
Guys,
Kabura, let me just say one thing
Yes.
on the issue of sports tourism. There was a meeting between the NBA commissioner and His Excellency Paul Kagame just last year, maybe around November or December. Within 1 minute, a decision was taken to build the Kigali Arena. In 6 months, they completed the project, and now Rwanda is going to host the Final Four and the final of the Basketball Africa League that Flash is talking about.
Yeah.
This league is going to be a partnership between the NBA and FIBA, but also sponsored by Nike and the Jordan brand. Can you imagine
Yeah,
how
the
much
politi-
money
I
is
think
going
the
to come
political will,
into?
the political will is very important.
Yes.
Guys, let's try and wrap this up. But I don't know. Ikong, follow
Ladies first.
No, yeah. I know.
I see you throwing fire at me. Huh? There's
How long have you
nothing.
played the game now, Ikong?
16 years, 15
16
years.
So it's, I think the question kind of applies for both of you guys. We really want both of you guys to stay in the game. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say you guys retire tomorrow, because you guys have taught generations, so many
Hey-ra.
youngsters. I mean, I'm coming to it. But the truth of the matter is there's got to come a time when it all comes to an end. And it's mainly for Flash, really, because you've been such a headline in Ugandan basketball forever. And we love it. You've taught so many kids. Have you set a date when you're like, you know what, maybe next 2 seasons I might have to go and give my daughter more time?
Now, the problem is I do give my daughter a lot of time.
Okay.
A lot of time.
Yeah.
Yeah. and
More time, though.
A lot. Well, when she's in school, I can't give her any time.
How old is
Yeah,
she?
she's 9.
9. Now it's fantastic.
But now the problem is when I feel I want to retire, I get better and
Oh,
faster.
Okay.
And my mind works in overtime. And the school that I learned basketball in is not what we learn today.
Yeah.
I learned playing basketball with my mind. So sometimes you can even think, but I don't think she's fit. My brain is.
Is working
So
hard. Yeah.
yes.
Ikong?
So I don't have a date.
Sorry.
No.
Ikong? Ikong go Charlie Mutoji basically for you.
This show
But
is in
Ikong,
English. This is an English show. This is an English show. When I joined Power from Mamakeri Theatres, that is in 2008, we basically were not given playing time on a silver platter. We worked hard, and we took people's numbers. You know,
Ken
you come and say,
Baliejusa.
I'm going to play. We are going to work hard. I'm going to improve. I'm going to play this game. It is one of the things that people need to know, that in life, things are not going to come on a silver platter. If you're out there waiting for Ikong to retire, then come and put on number 14.
Yes.
You might be in a wrong.
Be better.
You might be in a very big dream.
Yeah.
I think that people need to be competitive really. Come and take the place. You know, it even shows when the time is ready.
It will show.
When the time is ready, it shows.
I asked, sorry, about the same age thing. There was a poll on Facebook, the last Uganda, when they called, and everyone was saying, but this is always the same team.
Yeah.
Why is Stephen Omoni still playing? Who's better?
Yeah.
I mean,
if you want to play
Who can do a better
yes,
job?
it's like someone coming and saying, but this Onyango guy, can't he
Yeah.
retire, man?
Yeah.
Where is the next keeper?
So
Like,
Flash,
come and do something.
How old are you now, Flash?
Go,
okay?
Biz.
Right. I think I'm also
You are
asking too many
tickling. You are
questions.
tickling.
I know, I know,
You
right?
ask him his age.
I know.
All right.
How old are you?
You don't ask the host questions, my friend.
Yeah.
It's the other way around. Guys, let me take you through this. This is the final one, so we can wrap this up. And I know it's going to create so many enemies back in the basketball fraternity. I'll stick to the men for you. I'll stick to the women for you. I have 4 games here. Just help me and pick which of the 2 teams you think is making it to the next round. That is the semi-final playoffs. We have KIU Titans and Warriors.
Warriors.
Okay. You know, I'm not going to ask you why, because I think
Second.
you're already in trouble enough to have those answers here.
Warriors.
City Oilers and Ndeje.
City Oil.
Okay. Power and Dolphins.
Power.
Dolphins.
UCU and KCCA.
UCU.
Okay, there you go. Everyone knows what Ikong thinks now. Flash, I'll come to you. We have KCCA and ABC.
KCCA.
KCCA.
Yeah.
UCU A1.
Oh wow, that's UCU.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, UCU. A1 pull out.
No
a
reasons.
good
No reasons.
fight.
No
No
reasons.
reasons.
No reasons.
Just
I think Dolphins are going to win their game against UMU. That's my personal view. We share a view here.
Definitely.
Okay. Then we have KIU up against Nkumba.
Oh, that's already
yeah,
a wrap.
that's a wrap.
Oh, that's already a wrap.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes,
That's done and dusted.
KU is in.
Already through the
Yeah.
semifinals. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Asha, you have something conclusive to?
Just to ask them what they would wish for basketball in the next 2 or 3 years. Where do you see Ugandan basketball?
Ladies first.
But Ikong, man. Anyway, for me, wishes for somebody who saw us playing at YMCA with only one sitting place. I think we've come a long way, but I really, really would love a stadium because where we've reached right now, we can't even get Lugogo if we want it. I mean, we're playing and hustling and praying for the witch doctors to tie the rain, and we are still playing at YMCA. So it's really terrible, injuries and everything. So for me, if in my playing lifetime there can be even if we don't build a new stadium, if we can be guaranteed the one that's there already, it would be a plus for me. Then we can move forward from there. Right now we're still gambling.
Fantastic. Her prayer is facilities. Ikong.
For the ladies, we need to improve our scouting. For the ladies, we need to improve our scouting. We usually have a size problem, so the people doing the scouting need to travel, go up country, northern Uganda, Kabale. Even in Buganda here, I've seen size-level people. They need to improve that, and they should give those people an opportunity because the country belongs to all of us. So
Okay.
they should. But apart from the facility, we need to bring back the funds to the game. We need to bring more funds to the game. I know people come for playoff games, but some regular season games, because the teams appear a little weaker. And then the sponsors need to put in some money.
Okay.
Sponsors, put in some money for the game.
Some more
Let's
money.
put the game together. Yeah, some more money.
Joseph Ikong, thank you very much for joining us this evening, my friend. Flavia Oketcho as well. Always a pleasure, really having you guys here. And we hope you guys can come back, whatever the results in the playoffs. We can host you at, I'm hoping both of you guys make it to the next round, to be honest.
The next round being the finals or the semi-finals?
That's not how sport works, Ikong. After quarters, you have semis.
You have to see ahead.
Politics.
Thank you very much, guys, and wish you all the best in the next
Thank you
round.
for having us.
There's more reaction still coming up online in case you still want to join in on the basketball debate. The hashtag is NTV PRESSBOX. For now, quick break. When we come back, we have more reaction about the poll and talk everything European football. Manchester City 8-0 winners against Watford. The Manchester United fans, stick around.